can I answer that? I have no idea. What do you mean, do we receive enough revenue?
Do you have enough money to do what your job is?
Okay, so we have seen the disinvestment in public education across this state and across this nation over the years, and the board members can be even more clear around the dollars and the exact, I've seen the alligator charts and the amount of funding that's gone down and down over the years with this disinvestment in public education. And so it's really hard for me to answer, is there enough? Because for the last 10 years at Central, we've lost and lost and lost and lost millions of dollars, and I have still been charged with having to provide a quality education to the children at that school with less resources. And so for me, I have to make a decision with whatever dollars we have. It's my job to create quality. So part of me wants to answer that we will always ensure that our children have the highest quality experience no matter how much money we get. And then part of me wants to be really angry about the fact that it's not enough, and that we've disinvested in public education, and maybe we've created that on our own because the public has lost faith and they think that it's not working and the hope and promise is not being, so the promise is being broken. And so if it is, but in San Diego and in this state, there is hope. We passed Prop Z, we passed in the state Prop 30. We have a clear message from the voters that we believe in public schools and we want to see them make a difference. And so I want to stand up to that beginning of revenue sources coming back into our system and be really smart about leveraging those resources in a way that the public sees that we will use those dollars and we'll use them well. And I don't want to talk about there's not enough and we have to keep begging for more, but I also want to be smart and be fair about the dollars that are coming in, and are we appropriately funding education so children do get a good deal? And when you look at what does it cost at La Jolla Country Day? How much is the check that you need to write to give what people think is a great education? Is that the same amount that the child is getting in City Heights, the per pupil spending at La Jolla Country Day? Is it the same amount in City Heights? I don't think so.
Well, let me ask you about that, because down the street from La Jolla Country Day is Bird Rock Elementary. Parents at Bird Rock, the last I checked, were asked individually for each student for about $1,000 per student to fund their foundation that helps subsidize a lot of different efforts. Is there anybody that is seeing something different there from Bird Rock these days? So there's other schools, Grant Elementary, Scripps Ranches, what's it called? Jerabel? Jerebeck, sorry.
You're talking about resources and dollars, and it's important that we figured out how to leverage the dollars that are in the system from an equity standpoint. And that, you know, I have to talk a lot about equity, and what's equitable is not always what's equal. And if you have an area of the city where the parents can and do and will make a decision to give money to a foundation, and then the school uses that money to somehow equalize or create equity, or maybe a lack of equity, we have to talk about that, because we're very clear at Central. We talk all the time about public education is public education, it's free. And a parent shouldn't have to pay a penny for anything for their child to get a high quality education. If they choose to give to a foundation and they choose to give money, it's not because the school's going to fall apart and it's not going to be a great education if they don't.
On the other hand,
so I need to be able to prove that we are able to use the dollars that we have to provide the Common Core curriculum that's going to make sure every student across the city learns. And that is part of my leadership. What I'll need to do is make sure that we have alignment and we have clarity around our strategic mission and vision. Because right now there's a lot there. I will say that there's fragmentation, that we're spending dollars on things that maybe at one point were important and aren't as important anymore. And I have to lead that prioritization process so that the dollars that are in the system, I will always advocate for more dollars coming in through the public funding sources, and, you know, working with the governor and the local control funding formula, and advocating on the policy state, you know, the legislative level around funding, but leverage the resources that we do have in a really smart way. So it's not that you have to give to a foundation, you have to live in La Jolla to get that.
Except that, you know, Grant Elementary sends out a fundraising request and it says, you have to give this or we're going to lose our teachers.
I don't know anything about you have to.
Well, but that's basically
that would be news to me if they say that you have to.
Well, that's message coming across in all of these fundraisers, and that means a situation.
A fundraiser is a choice. I think that's.
It is a choice, except that it's not a choice to me if my kids' teachers are at stake, right? And so if those teachers are being asked for more money, do you think they're ever, or those parents, are they ever going to support a broad-based tax increase when in fact they're already paying what feels like?
I think they just did.
No, but that's what I mean. But isn't it going to get
Didn't we just
more
do that?
difficult?
I think we just passed that here in San Diego.
At 55%, but
Okay.
a parcel tax locally would be 66% vote, and that didn't.
So I think what you're getting at is that there might not be some trust, and that if we're putting our hand out saying you have to help us because there's not enough money, why are we doing that? And do we as a system have to keep doing that to equalize this? Do we have to turn to the community through fundraisers in order to make the schools great? We shouldn't have to. And the degree to which we're doing that is an indicator of where we are right now in the system, and I need to engage that and make that stronger.
So, and if you are of the opinion that we need more money into the school system, that is, like you said, asking taxpayers for an investment, right? But when the measurements to measure how that investment is actually paying off are not there, as you say, how does that pair up? How are we ever going to get to a position where there's excellence that can be measured so that we feel good investing?
That's the work that the board is hired me to do. This is about having clarity around what a quality school is, and when you have clarity, then you know what you're building. And when there's a singularity of purpose and mission and you know what you're building, you use your dollars for that and for only that. And some of the things that we might be spending our dollars on right now don't matter anymore when you have clear mission and vision. And that's part of what I need to do, is start aligning and prioritizing and having that. There's a communication part of this too, like communicating that to the public of what we're creating and how we're creating it.
Contributing member.
Yeah, you see, you're getting there, you're getting close. But it really is, I think a key word is around focus, the key words, focus and alignment. To focus the dollars, align the resources, align the strategic initiatives, and then you can focus the dollars that you do have in the right way so that we can start to build the public's trust again.